Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Early Morning Core. I'm your host, Tristan, and today we're actually going to be reading some Reddit stories. Okay, so quite a while back, more early on in my podcast, I did do some Reddit stories, and this week I was planning on doing Wolf Creek 2, but I just did not have the time, and I was also picking up other hobbies that were a little bit more relaxing, so kind of like a mental health break as well. But next week, I'm planning on doing a movie review. If I don't, then my apologies, but that is the plan. So, anyways, I've got 3 Reddit stories that I went through the r/true scary stories and picked out. They are all very recently, and one of them kind of has like a one of them is about this creepy closet, and 2 more are about urban exploring, which I used to be very, very into watching like urban exploration videos when I was younger. But starting off with r/true scary stories, urbexing in abandoned hospital, which I'll be honest, like to teenage Tristan, that sounds amazing, but that sounds downright terrifying to me now. So the story goes. Friends asked me one night to go out and explore this abandoned hospital not too far away from our hometown. For some, it's their second time coming in, and first for others, including me. The first thing we see coming in is like a foam mannequin, with a Winnie the Pooh onesie on it. Nothing crazy, dude. That's pretty crazy. But we keep going, and there are a lot of empty rooms, graffiti, and messages to like fear monger or scare us, whatever. Some rooms had a mattress or a bathroom, sometimes furniture like a seat or desk, or someone's belongings like shoes or clothes. See, those are all red flags. Um, as a guy, I think I've kind of noticed things after watching so many horror movies. Like, guess what? If you go out far into the woods and you see a whole bunch of cars lined up, there's a good chance that there's a murderer out there. I mean, probably not, but still, it could be true. But hallways stretched in this building for long ways, filled with these rooms. Eventually, we go up to the second floor and find ourselves in an empty room with a broken window that leads to the roof, and hallways stretching to both sides. We go out and up to the roof, and there was a ladder to climb to reach a higher section. We fucked around up there and opened a smoke grenade up there and threw it down a hatch into a room. Up on that roof was a smaller section of building that looked like it could be interesting to go in. We go through another broken window and find ourselves in a bathroom. Some people start breaking the shit like toilets and sinks, making hella noise. Go forward one room and find a table propped up with pots and pans and shit like that, and a mirror. Not to mention, one of my friends said it smelled bad in there, like something dead. But I couldn't smell it, or I smelled nothing. But it looked like we stumbled upon someone's living space. We leave and go back to where we first entered the roof, down the ladder, and a little walk. Then part of our group starts walking down one hallway while me and 2 other friends are talking, kind of lagging behind. And I shit you not, we heard a loud ass sound that came from where we were earlier, the quote living space, and nobody else heard it. Creepy. And I'm kind of sad we didn't go check it out because this place is cool, but kind of boring. And I was looking for like a thrill or to get genuinely scared, but it was probably for the better that we didn't go back. I know this isn't like an Am I the Asshole type post or anything, but I'll be honest, this guy kind of sucks. I mean, what's up with you guys going in there and vandalizing it? I mean, that's definitely not nice, especially if you think somebody is staying there. Like some homeless person might be staying there and you're in there wrecking his bathroom. Like, uh, yeah, I mean, that's kind of creepy, but to be fair, I think that is kind of a risk that you're going to come across. I thought it would be scarier. Like, me and my friend got attacked by this meth head. Like, I mean, I was expecting something like that. But, oh, okay, this other urban exploration one is a little bit longer. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to clear my nose. Anybody else drinking coffee right now? Oh, that's good. Excuse me. Okay. This one from r slash true scary stories, urban exploring gone wrong. How's it going? My name is Mike. I don't use Reddit a lot, but I was recommended by a friend who's in the community that I should share this story with the community. 8 years ago, I was a senior in high school. This was around the fall time, November to be exact, and this was Thanksgiving break. We had about 4 days off, so I decided to hang out with my one friend for privacy reasons. His name will be Kyle. Kyle and I were the only ones out of our friend group that were around during the break, so we hung out, did the usual play video games, and go to the mall. Then Kyle suggested to me while we were walking around our local mall, we should visit the Ghost Mansion tonight. The Ghost Mansion is what our friend group of others who knew about it called it, because it was some creepy house in the far ends of the woods off the highway. Our friend group always talked about going there together, and I was always down to go, but if you're a high school friend group, you know how it goes. You say you're going to the Bahamas or New York, but it never makes it out of the group. But this time, Kyle and I were so down. I don't know why I put that voice for that, but I don't know. I was expecting this guy to be like older. I don't know why the name Mike kind of set that voice for me, but we went to Kyle's house first to make this experience more surreal. Kyle had this gel palette fake guns from like Target to bring along with us. The worst mistake we could have made. Around 10 p.m., Kyle drove his car down the highway and pulled off on the side. We hopped out and made our way. I wasn't the scared type of guy. I like to say I'm a big guy, 6'1", maybe I was 185. Something about actually being out in the woods this late was trippy. And Kyle wasn't phased at all. I could tell as well. After 10 minutes walking from the car, we came to the front of the ghost mansion. Talking about going with my other friends got me hyped up, but now being 4 feet away had me shook a little. And it made that feeling worse knowing I had the shortest guy in our friend group with me as well. Kyle and I agreed I'd be the back and... Wait, what? Kyle and I agreed I would be the back and Kyle lead because I was kind of like the tank in the duo. Wait, what? That's not how tanks work. Tanks would be in the front to take the damage, while the damage dealer in the back would be, doing the damage. So that makes no sense. Unless you're expecting to get attacked from behind. But, okay. We open the door. When I tell you it was the loudest creak I ever heard, my heart dropped to my shoes. We had the flashlights we tape up onto our gel pellet guns, and we proceeded to enter right away. I saw on the floor that there was missing planks on the floor, and I was super cautious. Because if you stepped in one without seeing it, you could break an ankle or leg. At first, the room that seemed to be the living room and kitchen were vandalized. Nothing much until we went towards the rooms. We words on the walls coming towards the rooms, turn back, leave. I started tripping out. Kyle just turned to me and laughed, saying, "I'm gonna tell everyone that you're scared shitless later." I told him to shut the blank up. I'll finish for you. I told him to shut the fuck up because I feel like I got to get at least one cuss word in this podcast episode. As we cleared out the first room, that was again filled up with the trash and graffiti. Then we came across this one door. It had a wood plank blocking it off and a bunch of nonsense. This guy makes a lot of like spelling errors, so I'm trying to make sure I'm getting this right. Like he said nonce, but I'm pretty sure he meant like nonsense or no sense, something. A bunch of nonce words written on the door. Kyle tried ripping it off, didn't work. Then he hit it with his gel pellet. Like, he keeps saying pallet, not pellet. It's a pellet gun. But pallet, fake gun. Then boom, the gel pallet gets me in my eye. I clenched my eye and was like, Kyle, what the fuck? That would have been a sign to leave, but the wood plank broke. Kyle came to check on me, but then we heard rustling sounds like when you stepped on a bag of trash. Kyle decided to open the door wide open, and there was a guy in there. I'm sorry. As soon as you hear rustling in there, you're like, huh, maybe I should open it. That's awful. There was a guy in there. I barely saw him, but I heard Kyle say, who the hell is that? As a guy came charging at Kyle, they ran into the wall. My eye was still blurring, and Kyle dropped his gel pallet fake gun onto the floor alongside his flashlight, but I could still make out what was going on thanks to my flashlight. I ran out the guy. He was bigger than Kyle, but not me, and I pushed him off Kyle. And I ran towards the front, the guy screaming nonsense, but Kyle tripped into one of those missing floor spots, and at the time I thought he broke his leg. He was screaming, but the guy was now coming at us with the gel pallet. I picked up Kyle. I picked up Kyle. My adrenaline was so high, I just carried him the whole, and he spelled whole with HOLE, way out of the ghost mansion in a way you hold newborn babies. The guy was chasing us still, and he was shooting the gel pellets at us. Cal was screaming his ankle every 3 seconds. I never ran so fast in my life. We got to Kyle's car. I put Kyle in the passenger seat. I didn't have my license at the time, so I tried my best to drive us back, but I saw the guy when I drove off and looked behind me with the gel pallet just standing there. Oh, hold on. I need a break. My eyes started watering. I don't know if it was because I was laughing so much or what. We got back to Kyle's, and my vision and my one eye came back, and I checked out Kyle's ankle, and thankfully he rolled it. Well, Kyle and I told our friend group this. They didn't believe it and wanted to go back. Kyle and I said we'd never go back there or do something like that again. Thank you for reading my scary story, and I'll plan on being active on this app for a couple days to see what the community thinks or asks. All best. Okay, this one has one comment. It says, hey, interesting story, had fun reading it. And it's got 3 upvotes. This post is from 1 day ago, so Yeah, it's kind of newer. That was enjoyable. I'll be honest, it was funny to me. Like, I'm sorry, but like just thinking about him having to carry Kyle the whole way back. I mean, that's not funny, but the fact that you hear rustling in a room in an abandoned mansion, and then your first idea is, well, let me open that door. Like, no, that's awful. That's a scary. That is so scary. Okay, this one. This will be probably our last story, unless it's like too short, maybe. Then I guess I'll find another one to read. But the door in my closet was nailed shut for a reason. Okay, so I actually picked this one because of the title. Because when I was younger, so the first ever horror movie I ever watched, I was 4 years old, and it was The Boogeyman from, I want to say it's from 2004, 2005 maybe. But me and my sister were watching it in her room. And I remember how scary the opening scene is. It was so scary to me when I was 4 years old that it actually like affected me for a decade maybe. Like I want to say I was probably a teenager when I stopped being so scared of closets. Cause it was just like it wasn't even the fact like I was a teenager, yes, I could understand that it wasn't real, but it was still like just the memory of how scary that opening scene was and the other closet scenes in that movie because I was 4 years old and that's all that could play in my mind. So I picked this one because it had something to do with closets and I had a bit of an excuse to talk about something that happened to me or my experiences with closets. Because I quite literally went on Amazon and ordered this like closet thing. Like it's like a pole on wheels that you can hang clothes on. I remember getting that, and I had my TV and my desk blocking the closet. So, like, okay. So, from r/true scary stories, the door in my closet was nailed shut for a reason. When I was 19, my mom, my sister, and I lived in a rundown 2-story house that was already old when we moved in. The place always felt strange. Not necessarily haunted, just old in a way that made every creak sound deliberate and every shadow seem darker than it should be. There were 3 rooms downstairs and 3 upstairs. My sister claimed 2 of the downstairs rooms, while my mom took 1 of the upstairs bedrooms. That left me with the largest room in the house. There was only one problem: nobody wanted it. Inside the closet was a second door. That already sent chills down my spine because I don't like that. Not a normal closet door, a full size door that had been nailed shut. Move out. Whoever sealed it hadn't used just one nail, there were several, along with the old latch locks that looked like they had been added over time. There have multiple, because she says locks, old latch locks. That means that there's multiple. The door immediately became a mystery. Why would someone hide a room inside a closet? And why go to such lengths to keep it closed? Eventually, my sister and I decided we had to know. No, you don't. You do not need to know. You are 19. You are old enough to know that you don't need to be in there. Eventually, my sister and I decided we had to know. One afternoon, armed with a hammer and more curiosity than common sense, exactly, we pulled the nails free. The door groaned as we opened it. Behind it was another room, a completely hidden room. There were no windows, no visible light switch, just dark. Oh, God. just darkness. What the hell? Oh, what? Hold up. What just happened? Okay, never mind. I think I gotta clean my screen. Just clicked on a touch screen. Will sometimes like randomly press. I think I gotta clean it, but just darkness. The beam from our flashlight barely seemed to penetrate it. The air inside felt stale, like it hadn't been disturbed in years. Neither of us wanted to step inside. You shouldn't have opened it. Instead, we took several pictures using the flash on our camera. Then we slammed the door shut, nailed it closed again, and ran. Later that day, we looked through the photos. Every single picture was filled with orbs, not one or two, dozens. Some were small, others were large enough to obscure parts of the room. At the time, we couldn't tell if they were dust particles reflecting the flash or something else. Still, the number of them was unsettling. For a while, it became one of those stories we told friends, then life moved on. Eventually, I forgot about it. Until the morning the door opened by itself. Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm leaving. At the time, I was working overnight shifts. One morning, after a long night at work, I came home exhausted and headed upstairs to bed. The moment I walked into my room, something felt off. I couldn't explain why. The room looked normal, yet every instinct told me something wasn't right. I walked toward my bed, then I glanced toward the closet. The hidden door was standing wide open. I froze. I know for a fact it had been nailed shut. I had helped nail it shut. Yet there it was, open, not cracked, not partially open, wide open. I screamed. Then I ran downstairs. My sister probably thought I was losing my mind as I tried to explain what I'd seen. But when she came upstairs and looked for herself, she agreed to help me nail the door closed again. After that, I refused to sleep in my room. For nearly 2 months, I slept downstairs in my sister's room. Eventually, I started easing my way back. I moved my bed as far from the closet as possible. If I had to sleep in that room, I wasn't going to sleep near that door. Over time, the fear faded. Then I started dating an old friend, the woman who would eventually become my wife. Aw, congrats. With her sleeping beside me every night, I felt safe again. The room stopped bothering me. At least that's what I thought. One night, we were both asleep when something happened that I still can't explain. I suddenly felt the back of my hair being grabbed, not brushed, grabbed. My head was lifted upward, then slammed sideways into my solid oak nightstand. The impact was so violent that it woke my girlfriend instantly. She sat up and asked what had happened. I didn't have an answer. I still don't. This was the last night I ever slept in that room. Not long afterward, I moved out and got a place with my girlfriend. Years have passed since then. I've lived in other homes. I've experienced plenty of things that can be explained away with logic. But every now and then, I'll think about that old house, about the hidden room concealed behind a nailed shut door, about the photographs filled with unexpected orbs, about coming home from work to find that door standing open, and about waking up in the middle of the night with the feeling that something in that room wanted me gone. Maybe there are explanations for it, maybe there aren't. All I know is that after all these years, thinking about that room still gives me the chills. Creepy. Creepy story. That was good. I like that one. I okay, so I don't think I've ever talked about my own house being haunted really. I know I did mention it like at the end. Oh wait. I, no, never mind. I can't remember if I've ever mentioned it, but so me and my parents moved into the house that me and my parents and my wife and my son. So we actually moved into this house when I was about 4 years old, about to turn 5. And we can all agree that this house is haunted. We all have experiences, and I'm talking throughout the years. There's been stuff going on that cannot be explained. Knocks, footsteps, shadow figures, stuff falling that should not have fallen, sorts of stuff like that. Luckily, I can say that this ghost has never done anything like that. I mean, it's definitely scared me a couple times, but it's never hurt me, it's never grabbed me. The most physical thing that I can think of is uh this was a few months ago. I was laying in bed. I was about to go to sleep. My son, he was already put to bed. My wife, she was staying up watching one of her shows. And I'm laying on my side and I'm looking at the TV because I've done this for years since I was a kid. I have the TV playing with the show. It just brings comfort to me, right? And behind my lower back, I could feel something and I could hear the bed creak. Like I heard the bed creak like somebody just got on it. And I also felt the bed like indent right behind my lower back. When I say the chills that went down my spine were unreal, every hair on my body started to stand. It was fucking terrifying. Which that I cannot say that this is the first time this happened, but the first time that's ever been mentioned. It happened to my wife early on in our relationship. One of the first times that she stayed the night, actually, where she said that she thought the cat got on the bed because she felt the impact on the bed and felt it indent and heard the creak. And she said that she felt it like towards the foot of the bed, like next to her feet. And she looked down, and the cat was not in the room. Cat was not in the bedroom. The cat door to our bedroom was closed, and like the cat was not there. And I'm pretty sure that was like when we had the discussion if the house was haunted. But she was very open to it, and I did tell her that it's never done anything to hurt anybody, and I did look it up as to like previous owners and stuff. This house was built in like the 80s, and from what we can tell, there's only been like two other people that ever lived here, and it was an older couple, and one of them, I can't remember which one, but one of them passed away here, and the other one passed away at a retirement home. But I would not be surprised if you told me that both of them were here, because I do want to say that it is multiple, simply from the different experiences. Like the loud footsteps that you can hear upstairs and when you're home alone, feel like that would be the older man. And the probably the person that my son will point, say hi, and wave at down the hallway. Who knows? But we have all heard footsteps coming down the stairs, and it is, yeah, it's creepy to say for certain. And because of the early morning horror stuff, that is literal. That the reason why it's named early morning horror is because I wake up early in the morning. Most of the time when I'm recording, it's like 3 a.m. I can say 9 times out of 10, when I'm recording or I'm taking notes or I'm doing whatever, at that time, the house does feel off. Like the feeling of being watched is almost constant. It's creepy. And but yeah, that's my own experience with like a haunted house. I'd absolutely love to talk to the Static Horror podcast about some of my other experiences or some of my dad's experiences or my wife's, or like just creepy stuff that my son has done because he's been kind of doing creepy stuff since he was like 6 months old. But, stories for another time. Anyways, I hope that you all have a wonderful day and I hope that you all enjoyed this episode. I know it's a bit of a short one, but I really enjoyed it. Who knows? We may dive back into Reddit one day. But yeah, I hope that y'all have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Bye bye.